Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon to some.
Good
This is Ryan.
morning.
How you guys doing this morning?
Good.
Good. Welcome to our Inner Circle live session for Wednesday.
Good morning.
Good morning, Ms. Carlene. All right. Let's get rocking. So, as always, turn off all distractions, prepare your minds and your bodies to engage, as you guys always do. Also, please, if you're not actively asking a question or making a comment, please remember to be muted for everyone on the call. Quick disclaimer, trading does have risk. Right? We're not CTAs, commodity trading advisors, so the information that we give is for educational purposes only. We can teach you the technicals, we can teach you the fundamentals, we can teach you everything down to the trades that we like to take. But at the end of the day, it is up to you to press the button and take that trade. So I always want to remember to trade responsibly and never risk any money that you cannot afford to lose. All right. As you guys know, we got a couple of new people on the call. I am your host, Ryan Carthage, and I think we got my homie, my partner Benny Allen on the line with us this morning as well, in case he will likely pop in shortly. So what I want to do this morning is I want to take a look at some of these yen crosses to see how they responded overnight. And then we're going to take a look at any of the pairs that you guys want me to take a look at. Okay. So while I switch over, please drop any of the pairs you want me to take a look at into the chat. And we will get rocking. Benny, how you hanging this morning, man?
I'm fired up and ready to go. Ryan, how are you?
Sir, I'm good, man. I am good.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Benny.
Good morning. Good morning.
All right. So let me know when you guys can see my screen.
I can see it.
Good. All right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Got a couple folks joining us. All right. So first I'm gonna take a look at is since I have it up on the screen, the euro yen. I posted this one in the community last night. Hold on one second. Please remember, everybody, if you're not actively asking a question or making a comment, please remember to mute your line. Euro, USD. Let's make sure I get everybody's request. CAD. And Euro Aussie. Okay, so I posted this one in the community last night. From a long-term perspective on the daily time frame, right? We're tracking this move down to this daily 38.2, right? We got this AB boundary, right? Capital AB boundary here. We got this shallow retracement. And Benny talked about last night, right? How the higher time frames control the lower time frames, right? And looking at those as we get down to the lower time frames, those smaller waves, right? If you missed that session last night, it was a phenomenal one. Definitely go back and watch that session. Benny did a masterful job at breaking these waves down so that we can have a better view of what's happening. But we have this capital AB boundary here on the daily time frame, right? We got a 80-20 play, right? Shallow retracement, push up to the 118 and 127 zone. And then price has been making its way to the downside. Now, we got to this daily support level, right? Well, first, right? We drew our sub fibs, right? From the top to the bottom as we're tracking this move, right? And we got a 61.8 retracement right here, right? AB boundary formed, price stayed up here at this higher level, and then started to make its way to the downside. Stalled at this weekly support, and then we got this nice push back to the upside, okay? So right now, we're sitting at the level of resistance, okay, on the daily time frame. We did get a break of our trend line here, and if we wanted to draw an inner trend line, it would have come really tight like that. And it's from a daily time frame perspective, right? It would have come like this, right? So we did get a break of the trend line on the daily time frame, and price has just been pushing up, right? And we got this nice bullish push yesterday, right, into this morning, up into this daily resistance zone, okay? We got a stochastic that is in the sell zone, right? So if we take this down to our 1 hour time frame, right, and we track our fibs from the top to the bottom, right, we get to the point where we are here. This is the active AB boundary, right? We got a nice deep retracement here, 61.8, and then price fell off. Couldn't break that daily support level, and now we got a nice pullback again, okay? This was the previous level of resistance, right? And price broke through that to where it is now, which, let's bring this level down, okay? At this level of daily resistance, okay? So this one was broken, we'll remove that. And this is our most recent level of daily resistance right here, right? Just shy of a 786 retracement, but back in the 618 retracement level on this 1 hour time frame. So what I did was we mapped the fibs from the bottom to the top of this move, right? We got a break of that trend line on the daily time frame. Okay, so price has been moving to the upside, and we got a shallow retracement here. Almost got to that 38.2 level, but not quite. And then price pushed to the upside, right? So my post last night, right? So we could get the move to the downside from where price was, or we could get price to push up to this 118 and 127 zone, right? And we see price is making its way up to this level as we speak, okay? So we want to watch this one here. And what we can do is we'll adjust this trend line to that point, and we can draw an inner trend line here, right? And we can take a look at this from a couple perspectives, right? We can drop down to the 15-minute time frame for those that want like tighter entries, right? So we'll copy this like that. Drop it down to the 15-minute. We'll come down, right? So now that's that fib on the 15-minute time frame with those trend lines. Now, what you can do, if you want to be aggressive on this, you can draw an inner trend line here, like that, right? And wait for a break of that trend line, right? One of the ways you can approach this opportunity, right? This counter trend move, okay? Or, right? Or if you're a zone trader like myself, right? Potential there was an entry at the B boundary, and then I placed a second entry right at that 118, 127, right in the middle of that zone, right? So as price comes up, right, we can get a second opportunity to enter this trade and then take that back to the downside, okay? Now, one thing to keep in mind, we do have, look at this really quickly before I continue. We had news come in last night, right? Some positive news out of the Eurozone. That was negative, but we had some Italian manufacturing PMI, Spanish manufacturing PMI, French manufacturing PMI. Right, so some positive news out of the Eurozone, right, which gave some upward movement on the euro pairs. Okay, we have OPEC meetings all day today, so that there could be some impact from an oil perspective, right? These are all day meetings. Then we have non-farm payroll at 8:15. That's something to keep an eye on, right? These yen pairs could be impacted by the these ADP numbers here, okay? And then we have manufacturing PMI for the United States dollar. So we know that the dollar can be impacted. I mean, the dollar is a safe haven currency, and so is the yen. And a lot of times the yen will follow the dollar. So these numbers could have an impact on this yen, on these yen crosses. So that's why I want to take a look at them, right, to see where they are. And as after the news comes out today and tomorrow, right, we might have some opportunities. Okay, so keep these things in mind. And if we're on at 8:15, we'll see if there is an impact in the charts from this fundamental announcement that comes at 8:15. Okay, so we got this nice push up to the upside, right? But this is an 80-20 play that we could take a look at, right? If you want to trade those confirmations and wait for that trend line break with that swing high, wait on that to occur, right? Could push a little bit higher, deeper into that zone, right? So we'll watch that one as it plays out, okay? But that's an opportunity for us. Any questions on this euro yen?
I have a question, Ryan. Good
What's up,
morning.
Deb? What's up, Bethany? Good morning.
So, my question is, like, once it breaks that B boundary, like, I'm just curious to know, like, what is the potential in, like, because I noticed on the 15-minute, like, once it broke through that B boundary, like, to go up, it came back to test that B boundary to continue up. Like, I know we don't really play that, but how, like, what are your thoughts on that move?
You mean playing a retest of the B boundary to the upside?
Mm-hmm. Like, what does that look like? Because I don't like, does it always do that, or
Well,
it just depends?
It depends. So I wouldn't play it just because, especially if I haven't had, like in the scenario, we haven't had a retracement yet, right?
Right.
So
You don't really
the thing
know.
is, we haven't had that retracement. I wouldn't play a B boundary bounce, right?
Okay.
If we had a deep retracement, right, and price came down.
I'm not playing it. I'm just curious about it.
Yeah, just curious.
Like,
Yeah, no, 100%, right? But remember, right? So when we don't get that 38 to retracement, right, it's 80-20, right? So 80% of the time, we see this reversal into 118 and 127 zone. So if you play a buy off of this, it's going to be really, really short term. And your
right.
risk to reward may not be great because you could get reversal at any point within the zone, right? If you haven't had that deep retracement. Now, if you did get this retracement, right? If price came down to your sweet spot, right? Your 61.8 level, and then gave you a reversal, right? You could write it in your rules that as price is moving up, right? And if this was in confluence, say this level of resistance here, right, was here, and that be boundaries in confluence with a major level of resistance or support, right? Once that level is broken, you can then write any rules to play, right, a break and retest support and resistance type deal, right? Where you get a retest of the B boundary. And if that level holds, right, you can draw your trend line. You can draw your trend line on it, like so. Once you get a trend line break and reversal after that boundary, just to confirm that it holds, right, to the upside, like that, you could write that into your rules. But if you don't get that deep retracement, that's not something I would even consider. Just because that C hasn't occurred yet, and that can occur at any point within this move. Right, so there's a higher chance for you to either go deep in the drawdown or get stopped out, depending on where your stop loss is, if you don't have that deep retracement.
Gotcha.
It makes sense?
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. I was just wondering.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Absolutely. Good question.
Hey, Ryan.
What's happening, Benny?
Hey, and then of course, right? It goes back to what does your trade plan say, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because and the rules that you establish. Because I mean, sometimes I can close my left eye and something looks tradable. Sometimes I can close my right eye and something looks tradable, right? Sometimes I can turn my head a little bit to the left and look at the screen.
Depending on how you look at it.
And it looks tradable, right? It depends on how you look at it, how you see it, what time frame you're trading on, right? On your 15-minute, that break of the B boundary and say a particular retest may look like a decent setup, right? Because again, like Ryan said, that B boundary is just another form of what resistance, right? So that's why I said the break and a retest. So it really depends on your trade plan, but based on the rules that we follow, we're not looking to trade that. So a lot of times it all goes back to what do your rules say? What does your trade plan say? But based on how we teach it, it's not, like Ryan said, it's not a tradable zone right now that we prefer when we're looking to buy.
Gotcha. I'm not doing that. I was just kidding.
Yeah,
I was just kidding,
it's a great question. It's a great question, right? So I know a lot of people are thinking what you're asking. So I appreciate you bringing it up.
And remember too, right? We talked about this a little bit yesterday, right? That buying low and selling high, right? So if price is pushing up, right, you're not buying at a low price, right? For anybody that'll be looking at it, right? You want to get this at a discount if you're looking to buy. And when it's up at a higher zone, you want to wait till that push to the upside finishes out so that you can sell at that high price, right? So keep that in mind too. Good deal. Any other questions on this? No. All right. Cool deal. Let's take a look at the CAD. I know we had a request for this yesterday, and Benny, did you get to this one last night? I'm not sure if he did or not.
No, I didn't.
Okay. All right. So on this CAD yen, right, got a similar look, right? AB boundary, capital AB boundary on the daily time frame, right? Tracking down to this daily 38.2 level. We still haven't been able to get there yet, right? But we've been tracking this move to the downside for quite some time. So again, right, we dropped our sub fibs from the top to the bottom so we can track this move as it goes. Okay. And we're right at this inner trend line, right, on the daily time frame. Okay. We did get a break. If we brought a sharper one down on the daily time frame, we did get a break of that with this move to the upside, right? But we're sitting right at this middle trend line now, right? Price is retesting that zone. Okay. So we're looking to see, right? Will we get a reversal and price to continue back to the downside to this daily 38.2, or will we get price to continue to push to the upside? Now this one, we got OPEC meetings happening, right? So could impact the Canadian dollar pair. And then we got ADP non-farm payroll news and additional non-farm payroll news and other financials for the dollar coming out tomorrow, right? So this is one that could be highly impacted by the news over the next 2 days. Okay. So this is the active sub AB boundary, right? We're at a 61.8 retracement level right now, right? Didn't quite get to that 786 just yet. So, right, we're moving into our sweet spot on the daily time frame. So we'll see how this plays out on the lower. Okay. So let's go down to our 1 hour. And we see, right, if we map our fibs from the top to the bottom, right, we had some taken out as they move through. And this is the active AB boundary on that 1 hour time frame, which is very similar to that daily, right? Very similar to that daily. So what we wanted to do, right, after we played this move to the upside, is track the move down to see where this could finish out. So we mapped our sub fibs on this to the upside, and we're at again, 61.8 level, didn't get to that 786 level. Just actually we did, right? So on this 1 hour time frame, this is 786 retracement level here. Okay. But we did get a push down to the 61.8, and then we got this push back up. Okay. So what we want to see is, right, how does the market respond to this news? Okay. How does the market respond to this news? Let me clear this out because that move has finished. Okay. So now we're looking to see, right? Price pushed up, broke that B boundary, came back, retested it. Will we get a push up to finish this sub fib out? Right? Finish that sub fib out and retest that trend line again. Okay. Or will we get this reversal here? So this will be one to watch. We got price in the sell zone still on the stochastic, right? Trying to push to the downside. Go back to the daily. Stochastic is in the sell zone here as well. So we have a little bit of confluence from our indicator. Okay. But we want to see, right? Do we get kind of a double top here? Price push up. Do we get a stall out in the zone? And then that reversal. Okay. So what we can do, since that is our highest point, we'll drop our trend lines on this. Like that. All right, because you want your trend line to go wick to wick, tracking through, right? Getting to your highest point like that. So we'll take an inner trend line from here and bring it up like so. Okay. So that's our inner trend line on this pair. And so now we'll wait and see, right? With that news happening, that could be the catalyst to push this to the downside, right? Or we could get a push higher up into that AB boundary to finish out this fib, right? And retest that trend line. So this one we'll wait and see. Horlar said he got stopped out on this. Where'd you enter this one? Horlar, you what was your entry on this pair that you got stopped out in? I was not able to unmute. Okay. All right, but so we'll watch this one. We'll see how the news impacts it. But we're moving up into our sweet spot zone, right? If our bias is still bearish, which mine is, right? Still looking to get down to this 38.2 level at least, right? So we'll see. We'll see if the news is positive for the dollar, right? Entered on the 618 fib level. Also, you entered here. Okay, so your stop loss is probably too tight, right? So we talk about in that fib series, right? If you're entering within this AB boundary at these sweet spot zones, 618, 786, 86, right? You want to place your stop outside the A because price can move anywhere within this zone, and as long as it doesn't take out that A, then it will go your way, right? So price could move all the way back up to this A boundary and then reverse. Okay, so just remember, if you're playing these sub fibs within a larger AB boundary, right, your stop is going to be a little bit wider. Okay, or if you play the tighter stop, right, then right, you could have a higher probability of getting stopped out. So if you entered at this 618 level, right, this was a shallow retracement, 118, 127, price pushed up, right, and you place your stop right above the high, you definitely got stopped out. If you gave yourself a wider stop outside of that D extension, potentially, you could have gained some profit off of this new AB boundary that formed, right, before price reversed there. But be sure you're looking at the larger scope to understand where you're placing that stop loss, right? So that you have that understanding of where to place that stop loss. If you place it tight, you definitely can get stopped out in that. Okay. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So that's where we are. We'll see if we get to break this trend line to the downside. Okay. Any questions on this Canadian? No. All right, cool deal. All right, let's look at the GJ. And I've been looking at this really quickly last night. So on this one, from a daily time frame, right, we're tracking again down to this daily 30-2 level. Okay, similar look, AB boundary form there, right? And we've been tracking to the downside. Price is pushing up, coming up to this downtrend line, right, off of this up retracement zone. Okay, this is the active AB bound, the active sub AB boundary here. 618 retracement, double top, price pushed down. Now it's giving us a nice pullback. Okay, giving us a nice pullback. So on this 1 hour time frame, let me clean this out. Profit on those. Okay. So in this 1 hour time frame, right? What we did, oops, because we got this nice, where we at? Okay, yep. So these are the fibs from the top on this move, okay? And this is our active fib on this 1 hour time frame. Okay, that's the active fib there. We got a nice move to the upside that some folks were able to play. All right, nice move. Now we're coming up to the 618 retracement zone. Okay, been watching these fibs as they formed. And it's been an interesting move. Gave us look like a potential double top, right? Price pushed down and then broke that B boundary. So now we're sitting at the 118 and 127 zone. Price did give us a 618 retracement. Okay, so we could see price push higher. Could see price push a little bit higher to finish out this fib, right? Before we get that move. Before we get that move back to the downside. Okay, clean that up a little bit, like so. Okay, so if you're looking into this one, similar to that, similar to the Canadian, right? If you're looking into this one in this sweet spot zone, you're gonna have a larger stop. Okay, gonna have a larger stop. If you enter it, if you have limit order set, right? This one may have been activated, so you have a larger stop here, 150 pips above that A, right? So give price room to float, give it room to float, give it room to breathe. It could come up and hit that D extension level, right, in confluence with just shy of the 786 retracement. Okay, but again, we'll shift this trend line to the outermost point since we have a new high, like so. Okay, and then if you want it to drop down to the 15-minute to get you a more aggressive inner trend line, you can absolutely do that. From here, take that out. Oops, not that. All right, so down here we'll get you a sharper, more aggressive inner trend line, like so. If you wanted to be extremely aggressive, bring it like that. All right. I wouldn't take it all the way through that inner point just because it's already broken, right? And prices are already moving in that direction, but we could get price to push higher, right? And we didn't get a sharp break of that, because that would have been that inner trend line there. So I would just adjust it to this outer point in this scenario. Normally we wouldn't do that. We would keep that there, but it's going through price. So we'll drop it out like that. So if we get a break of this trend line and come back through this daily support level here, right, which was resistance, get a push back down, you can see that move continue to the downside. Okay. So that's where we are there. Okay, still got a ways to go to the downside, but price broke through this level of resistance, so potential for it to push higher into the zone if we don't get an immediate reversal and push back down. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Keep this D extension in mind as well. Okay. Let's see. 1 hour, 50% fib. I think it's going to sell. Yeah. Yep, absolutely. So, right, remember, like in 50% retracement in confluence with a daily resistance level, right? If you have that written into your rules, that's okay, right? Just remember, right, that stop loss piece, right? You have to give yourself some room because it can still push through. In this case, right, this might have been a trade management deal as well, right? Because if you got that 50% retracement and you entered off of this high here, right? Hold on one second, everybody. Can you guys still hear me?
Yes.
Okay. All right. If you enter at the 50% retracement off of this high here, right? Playing this sub fib, right? You would have made some profit off of that. So this would have been a trade management conversation as well, right? Because that moved 100 pips to the downside. So if that's where your entry was, right? One of the ways you can manage that trade is to drop your trend line, right? As that price is moving in your favor. Once you get a break of that trend line, right? That's your identification to say, hey, I need to take profit on this. You got a swing low trend line break. Price could be changing direction. Let me secure some profits on this, right? If you entered here off of that retest, right, then that would have been a little bit tighter for you, okay? But from a trade management perspective, if you entered off of this move here, don't be afraid to drop that trend line and take some profit, okay? Any questions on this, GJ? All right, let's take a look at the Aussie yen. Benny took a look at this one last night as well. Right, so we're getting this nice push to the upside here, right? AB boundary form, up retracement zone, right? We got to the daily 38.2 level. We got the 50%, rejected off of this daily support. Okay, now we're pushing back to the upside. Pushing back to the upside. So we want to see where price is going to stall at, right? Let me adjust that, right? This is the level of resistance here at the top. Okay, so will we get price to push up further to this daily resistance level? See what's happening. Okay, and then give us a reversal. Okay, take these out. So that's what we want to see. Maybe, there we go. Okay, so we're pushing back up. We're retesting this previous area of consolidation, right? And price pushing through a nice bullish candle to the upside there. Okay, so drop down to the 1 hour. Okay, we see AB boundary. We got a 50% retracement. Price pushed up, hit this D extension level, right? That's on the sub fib. On the capital fib, right, tracking from the top to the bottom on this. This is the active fib here. Okay. It's the active fib on the 1 hour time frame. Clean this up. Right. We got a D extension hit in confluence with a 786 retracement, right? Pushed up a little bit higher, didn't quite get to the 86. Okay, so this is one that's pushing higher into that zone. Okay, so when will we get this reversal is the question. So once we get a swing high to form, we'll have a new AB boundary, right? That new B boundary is that bat signal. Okay, the new AB boundary should have formed already, but it looked like this, right? That's the new AB boundary. So let me see something. Let's run these fresh. Interesting. High 1, 2. Yeah, so that should have formed already. It should pop up sometime soon, maybe after this hour candle closes. but this will be the new AB boundary here, like so. Okay, so B boundary. How you want to play it, right? If we get a shallow retracement, push to 118, 127. That'll be a retest of this A boundary. Okay, but that's a fresh fib for us to watch. Fresh fib for us to watch, right? Stochastic in the sell zone. On both, right? On the daily and the 1 hour time frame. So got the nice push up AB boundary form. So this is one to watch, guys. On a fresh AB boundary formation. We'll drop our trend lines on this. Like that. And trend line there. Like so. Okay. Like that. All right. So we'll see, right? We know we're in a risk on environment right now. So your commodity pairs are gaining that strength. As you're seeing this Aussie push up, right? The euro pushing up, the pound pushing up, right? Going away from the safe haven currency of the yen, but we're getting to some levels of resistance, right? That could start to have the potential of giving us a retracement, right? Even if price does continue up, at some point, we got to get a pullback. At some point, we got to get a pullback. So we'll play it, we'll watch it, and we'll see how the market responds, okay? So that's another one for us to watch today. Any questions on this Aussie yen? No? All right. All right. Let's see.
Ryan,
Michelle, what's happening?
good morning. Quickly on this Aussie yen that you're in right now,
Mhm.
the last fib that formed on, you were looking at the 1 hour, right? And then the fib coming down is the, let's see,
Yeah, this is the
Okay.
active fib on the 1 hour here.
I got you. I overlaid my daily on the on
Okay.
there to look at the confluence with that. All right, but all right, cool. That was it. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah. So you did this here.
Yeah, I feel like you got me into the habit of that. So I'm just like doing
No, that's
it.
okay. That's
All right.
okay. Absolutely, right? So now you're able to see, how it plays out, right? So this is your larger fib here, right? From this high to this low.
Mhm.
So now you're able to see, right? So you got a 32 retracement off of that. And now price just been hovering. Right,
Okay,
trying to
and
make
then
its way
that
to the
EF
downside.
section up there is close to the 61A, so it could be up there.
Mhm.
All right, cool. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Okay. All right, see that? So we'll see how it plays out. We got a 32 retracement off of the low. Okay. So the extension down here in confluence with that 118, 127 zone. Excuse me. So seeing as we do have this deep retracement here, right, that'd be in line, right? If we get that reversal. If we get that reversal and price come down to the zone, hit that daily de-extension level as well.
Yeah, but the stop loss has to be big, right? Because it could just keep going up more to get like a deeper discount, right?
Yeah, it could. If you're mapping off that at the 1 hour time frame, it would be a little bit larger. On the off that daily time frame. If you're looking at this 1 hour, right, you place it above the A there, which would give you
Like 80.
70, 80 pip stop loss to the right. It'd be just shy of that 50% on the daily, but just outside the A on the 1 hour.
That's my question. Like if I'm looking at the daily, right? Wouldn't it be stronger so I don't always want to wait for the deep retracement because it could take days. And I'm like, I'm not gonna sit and wait. But then it's so close, it's like, dang, should I just wait for the 61A to make sure when I come down is worth it? Or just
I,
small.
I would play the 1 hour fib. Right?
Yeah,
Play
yeah.
the 1 hour fib. You know what I mean? You have your larger view and you know where it is. So you
Yeah.
can say, right, you can drop your line. Hey, this is my make sure I got this right. Yeah, this is my daily D extension level. Okay. That's my daily D extension level there.
Yeah.
Right. So I know where that is. I know where that is. Right. Will we move this? Whoops. What did I just do? Allow me to click it. Maybe not. Let's see. There we go. Right. So this is my daily D extension level here. I know where that is on the daily time frame. So now I'm going to track these fibs, look for my entry off the 1 hour fib, right? I'm getting into my sweet spot on that 1 hour. So now I can place my stop above the high like this, right? And that's in a manageable zone. And you know, right, if that gets taken out, we could be looking at a deeper push on that daily fib, right? If this A gets taken out.
Mm-hmm.
See what I'm saying?
Daily fit for a deeper retracement up to then. Okay, gotcha.
Right. Yeah. So that's how you can play it. So now we have our longer term target, and now we're just looking for the entry right off of these sub fibs within this AB boundary here.
Yeah, the trick is to do a small lot, because if it keeps going up, then I'll be scared to risk it. Okay, I got you. No, I'm definitely going to try this one and another one you said to just write it out. Thank you, Ryan.
Yep, absolutely. Got a question. Could this be an 80-20 play, put a stop loss above the D extension? You could, absolutely, right? Off of these sub fibs here, right? AB boundary form. We'll see if we get the shallow retracement price push up, and you could stretch that stop loss out. Absolutely, right? You definitely could. Just trade smaller, right? It's 130 pips above that D extension, but absolutely, right? Just remember, right? If price takes out this A, right, it's likely that on a higher time frame, we saw that daily fib, right, price is going to give a deeper retracement on that daily fib, right? So that's why on this one we talked about placing it just outside the A in this scenario. But you definitely could stretch it out to give yourself a little bit more room in the event that price pushes higher and then gives that reversal. Okay, but absolutely.
This crew is smart, man.
Man, they own it, dude. They own it, man. I love it. All right. So we'll watch it. We'll see how it plays out. Okay. And now we're getting price push up a little bit. You're welcome. You are welcome. Any other questions on this Aussie yen? No. All right. Cool deal. Second. All right. So let's keep it rocking. So let's take a look at Benny took a look at this one yesterday too. USD JPY. Right, and this is an interesting one, right? Yen is a safe haven currency, and you have the dollar, right? So we know the dollar's been retracing, right? And now it's potentially going to push to the upside. So we have, from a daily perspective, right? We have this AB boundary form, just shy of a 38 to retracement, and then price just been moving in this range, right? Just moving in this range here. So this is our high point, right? So we track the fibs in this up retracement zone, right? Potentially, it's the AB boundary. We got a just shy of a 618 retracement off of this push to the upside. But again, we're just moving sideways, right? Just moving sideways since June. Okay. So if we go down to the 1 hour time frame, all right, we're still there. Gotta see that? Still sideways move. So this is more of a range play, right? We're pushing up to the top of this range, right? Off of this low. Price is trying to make its way back to the upside. So now we're pushing back up to the top. So we'll see what happens when price gets higher, right? Does it go in favor of the yen, or do we get a breakout to the upside and break this resistance and a move there? So this one I would wait to see. Yeah, so from the bottom to the top, fib is being taken out. Go to the next low point, taken out again. There we go. So that would be the sub fib AB boundary there. Shallow retracement, right? Price could be pushing up to this resistance level. So that one's sideways movement, playing a range. So I'd wait to see what happens up here at this resistance level, right? Do we get a breakout and a retest and continuation up? Does the dollar gain that strength, and do we move back into a risk off environment, right? And the dollar could gain some strength off of this, right, and push up to this weekly resistance level, or right, do we get something like that and a retest for continuation, or do we get a rejection off of this level and price to come back down to the bottom of the range? Okay, so this is in the middle. I would just sit and watch this one. Benny, what's up, man?
Oh yeah. Just keep in mind what's going on, right? Economically, Friday we got payroll numbers, right? And that's going to be key because now we know that the Feds are talking about holding on for the interest rates hikes, right? In the near term, but they're talking about tapering in the near term. So what you can see is that boost in the dollar with the numbers that come out. If they come out strong, right, then that's a good economic indicator. And what the market, they're going to look at it like this. Well, this is going to put pressure on the Fed to do the tapering, start the tapering process a lot sooner than later, right? If those numbers come out strong, right? So good economic numbers on Friday at the end of the week. So then you can start to see that dollar strength, right, come back into play. Right now, you're getting this push up on the dollar yen because the yen has some good economic numbers coming, right, the other night. So you're seeing a little boost there. So a lot of times we talk about the yen, being that safe haven, but you're looking like, okay, well, the yen is showing some strength, dollar is weak, we're in a risk on environment right now. Why is that? But it's because Japan has an economy too, and they've gotten some good economic numbers. So like we said earlier in the week, this is really going to be data driven, and a lot of it's going to ride on those non-farm payrolls that come out on Friday. We've got the ADP like you showed earlier, but we know last time the ADP numbers, which is the precursor to non-farm, was way off, right? Was way off. So I know based on that last situation, everybody's really going to be eyeing these non-farm payrolls on Friday to see what those numbers come through as. So just something to keep in mind, and that's the reason why you see this type of movement in the dollar yen.
That makes sense. Thanks for that, bro.
No problem.
Any questions? Poppy, just figure out how to use the smart fib. High five. Smart fib is a wonderful tool. It's a wonderful tool. Great job. Continue putting in the work, Poppy. I saw your post come through on the community. I'm gonna check that out once we get finished. I'll give you some feedback on that. New folks, as you're going through the training, right? Be sure to post your homework assignments in the community so we can get you some feedback, right? The implementation of the skill is where you're able to learn and make that progress, right? Got to implement. As you implement, questions will arise, right? Questions will come up. Come to these live sessions and you're able to ask those specific questions based on what you're looking at, what you're learning, and what you're implementing, right? It's extremely important that you take the action to actually do. Okay, start your demo account, right? Start putting in trades in the demo account, right? Implementing what you're learning so that you build that confidence and you're able to see it, feel it, smell it, touch it, the whole nine, right? You got to really immerse yourself in the whole process. Okay. At first, it's going to sound like gibberish. But as you do, those aha moments that you see folks posting about will start to come in. Okay. So cool deal. Let's take a look at the NZD-JPY. All right, I'll come back to this NZD CAD in a second. NZD-JPY, right? So let's pop out to the daily time frame. Okay, you see this one here, tracking us into the downside. This is the daily 38.2 of the capital fib from the bottom, like so, right? That's that daily 38.2 level. Price came down, hit it, and then we got a strong bounce to the upside, right? So looking at FX Street and risk on, risk off factors, this is one of the pairs that they talk about. When price is up, right, we're in a risk on environment. When price is down, we're in a risk off. So price is pushing to the upside. So it's a signal of risk on, as Benny talked about. Okay, so price is up here at a level of resistance. Okay, at a level of resistance, right? Broke that previous level. I can take that out. Right, so this is our new high. Price pushed up. So if we get 2 candles to the right, if price does reverse, right, our new high will shift up there. But currently, that's the level of resistance right there. Okay, and we're sitting right in that zone. Sitting right in that zone on the daily time frame. So if we track the sub fibs in this up retracement zone from the top to the bottom, like so, AB boundary, we got a 61.8 retracement. Price pushed up here. I believe this hit 786. Let's see. High on that 77999. Nope, not quite. Just barely missed the 786 retracement on that. Okay. Somebody got a question?
No, I was tracking this one. I was like so close.
Yeah, definitely close. Definitely close. Right. So technically not a 786 retracement, but it got really, really, really close. Okay. So deep retracement up in a sweet spot, especially on the daily time frame. So we'll see, right? Does price continue to the upside? Continue to move? The D extension on this is outside of that monthly resistance, right? Does price push higher now? Since we got that 38.2, does it continue up? Do we stay in a risk on environment, or with the news, do we get the push out of that zone back to the downside for deeper retracement? Okay, so that's what we're looking to wait and see.
Excuse me, I'm sorry, Ryan. That was like a double top. I skipped out, but kind of.
Oh, right here.
Yeah. Would that be considered, like, for now, like, depending like what it's looking like?
Depending on what happens.
At the moment.
Yep. Absolutely. Okay. Right. So we could get that push back to the downside off that. Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. So let's go to the 1 hour time frame, see what we have. So we know we got a 6.8 retracement off of that sub fib AB boundary in the up retracement zone. So let's drop to the 1 hour time frame. Let me see. This is where we are. That got taken out. So let's extract these from the top to see where they fall. Oops. That's our high point there.
It's just, can I say something?
Absolutely.
Interesting to see how, like Benny was saying, like, depending on how you're looking at it, like almost everything can be could be confluence, but it's just like you just yeah.
Everything at some point can look like a good setup.
It can. But like that's why I said, like, for right now, it looks like it could be a double top, but definitely wait, like, and patience, wait to see what happens. But yeah, absolutely. Right. So
We got this move here on the 1 hour time frame. We're at a 61.8 retracement as well, right? Just shy of that 786. So if we track the fibs from the bottom to the top on this, right? These smaller waves, right? Active AB boundary, D extension hit, right? We got a swing high to form. So soon we'll get this new AB boundary to form here. Okay. The extension was achieved. We do have 1 candle, 2 candles, like so. Okay. So new AB boundary to take a look at. Right now we're sitting at a shallow retracement. We'll see what happens. Right. We'll see what happens. We may get a deeper push here. Right. And that will give us a 118, 127 shallow retracement, 80-20 play if that occurs. Right. If we get a rejection off of that to the upside. Right. Or we could get that move down. So we will drop our trend lines like so. Like that. Then we zoom in, we can get an inner trend line. We'll see price is sitting right at that trend line right now. Okay. Price sitting right at that trend line. So we'll watch them. All right, we got 15 minutes. I'll take a look at a couple other pairs. We'll see how the news impacts these yen pairs and the dollar pairs as we move through. Okay, but that's the NZD JPY. We've got a nice push up into this daily resistance level. Now, will we get a push out of it and back to the downside, or will we get a push higher? Okay. Any questions on this one? Yep. All right. Cool deal. Let's see what we got. Euro USD. Euro USD. Okay. Tracking to the downside, right? It's the active AB boundary here. And then last night we mapped some of these smaller waves on this one, right? Smaller waves within this move to the downside as it's just been trickling down, right? So we took this AB boundary here, right? The sub fib AB boundary. We mapped that down to the 1 hour time frame, right? To see this move here. Okay, so this is a smaller wave within that larger daily fib, right? And then we tracked our sub fibs to the upside, right? We're at a 61.8 retracement. We didn't quite get to the sub fib D extension here, right? But we got a reaction yesterday, and now price just kind of hovering, okay? A lot of times what you'll see when major news events are coming up, see price just stall, right? And we're sitting at a level of daily resistance. So we'll see how price responds, right? We'll see how price responds. Just broke this small level of resistance here. Going back to retest it, right? Do we get a push up to finish out this fib, hit that D extension, then get a new AB boundary, right? Or does price give us a deeper push, right? Stochastic pushing up into that sell zone on the 1 hour time frame. So we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see. We did get a break of that inner trend line. Now we'll see what happens here. Okay.
I entered at that trend line break.
Okay. So you're probably sitting at probably break even or a little bit improper right now.
I'm in drawdown by
Okay.
10 pips.
Okay. Ms. Jordan, how you feeling?
I'm better. I'm better than I was the other day.
Good. Glad to hear. All right. So that's where we're sitting on the Euro USD, right? News of the next couple of days will give us some insight on where that one goes. And then once that occurs, will they know what to do? Okay. Take a look at the NZD. Any other questions on this euro dollar? No.
Nope. Hey, Ryan.
Yo.
Just a reminder to everybody, right? How to market a lot of times. Some of us have been, in the inner circle for a while, and you can kind of see how the market kind of starts to shape up and form itself around these major reports. So this non-farm payroll is going to be huge on Friday. And a lot of times you'll start to see things start to push sideways or you don't get the usual movement. The good thing about this non-farm payroll report is it can kind of really, depending on how it comes out, really kind of set the pace for going forward into the fall. And just a reminder, right? Congratulations for those of you who have been with us, right?
Yeah.
You made it through the summer months trading. So you made it through the summer months when there's not as much as liquidity. There's not a lot of pushback on the other side because of the lack of liquidity in the market during the summer months. But guess what? It's September 1st, and this is when the real fun begins. So if you had some success right through the summer months trading with us and learning, even if you're in a demo and you kind of took the time to make sure that you've gotten the concept down, then now we're in the fall. The liquidity, you start to see it pick up in the market. So this is prime time to really start getting busy and really hone in the skill because things should start to speed up a little bit in the market and you should see a little bit more volume return. And it's great that, hey, non-farm payrolls, the Friday falls right during this first week of this new period, this new session where the liquidity is coming back. So it's kind of like perfect timing. So if you're seeing the market's kind of slow right now, you're not seeing as many setups, just look back through the month and you'll see some of these pairs, right? Like those Aussie pairs that made their reversal to the upside. Some of us we've been sitting in those for weeks, right? As they move to the upside through TP1 and TB2. So what you're looking at is the end of a run, and now the market is about to reset as the fall hits and the liquidity returns to the market. So let's keep that in mind as we're looking at the technicals on these charts.
And think about this, man. Like Benny said, so the summer is generally slower, right? Folks that have been with us a while, have you felt like the summer was slow?
No.
No, no, no.
No, it kind of was dragged.
Good. It was great.
Yeah.
I say that to say, look, the methodology that we use, that we teach, you using the fibs, right? Using trend line, support, resistance, you're able to find setups in any market, whether it's high volatility, low volatility, volume high, volume low, right? With the fibs, you're able to find setups as the market moves, however it moves, whether it's ranging or whether it's trending, you can find setups, right? And we've been able to, right, utilizing the fibs puts us in, like Benny says, puts us in the right position at the right time, right? And it helps us find that direction whenever the market gets there, right? So in these slow months, where you have a lot of your investors, a lot of big time bank people on vacation, right? We've still been able to catch pips. So now when the volatility comes in, the market really starts to move, right? You guys that have been with us through the summer, you've been able to learn these skills and be able to pick it apart, right? In the slow months. Now when the market really moves and these AB boundaries are forming more frequently, you'll be able to catch more pips, right? So that's a it's a beautiful thing to me, man. It's a beautiful thing to me, right? When people, you literally have people, right? Even big time currency traders that take the summer off because the volume is low. Volume is low, not gonna be no setups. I'm gonna take the summer off, right? They made their money, which is cool, but we've been able to continue to catch pips in this quote unquote slow time of the year. So now we're getting to what you guys say is game time, right? Now we're getting to game time, right? We had to practice, right? Now we can really catch some more pips, right? Think about it, right? So I got to go back to this. So a couple of Fridays ago, Ebony and I were talking about this pound Aussie, right? This pound Aussie, and Ebony Michelle put me hip to this move, right? AB boundary form, 80-20 play, right? Play it to the downside. In a slow month, slow time of the year, 300 pips to the downside, and it's not done. And if you have multiple entries, you could be at close to 1,000 pips of a one pair during the slow time of the year. These yen pairs that we've been following, right, since March, April, May, June, right, from the top of those moves, the pound yen, the Aussie yen, the CAD yen, right? Those moves have, those pairs have moved a lot.
Ryan, I have to say something.
Talk to me, Ebony.
I get a little salty every time you bring up this pair.
Why?
Because, it's just a learning experience for me, but just to know that I did not catch any of that, it's okay though. Like I learned a lot through that pair because being that I did not properly manage my risk, I entered too soon, I got out too soon. Like it was just, it definitely, it was a big lesson. So I just want you to know that every time you bring that up, I get flashbacks. It breaks my heart. A little tear just dropped on the side of my eye sometimes. But I just wanted to make you aware of that. That's all.
Well, so
yeah, you don't have to mention me either, because I also called this move and missed this move. So every time you talk about it, it's like, wow.
Yeah, this will go down in history. And it's okay though. I'm okay with it. I've accepted it. It is what it is. And it's just, this is a part of my learning process.
100%. 100%. And I love it, right? I love it because you guys identified something that for some people, you guys didn't catch it, right? But you learned a lesson, right? For new people, you guys will catch on that. I talk about this learning process all the time, even as we're joking and playing, right? I hurt their feelings on a daily basis because I talk about this setup a lot. But they were able to learn something from it, right? And that took them down the conversation of risk management. How are they managing the risk? We sat down, we talked about it. We talked about things that they can do better. They were able to learn from that experience, right? But they identified, and this is the phenomenal piece about it, right? As they've been learning and honing their skill, they identified a setup in this pound Aussie that this setup made some people's year.
Thanks, Ryan.
No, you
I think that's
Ryan, it's okay.
no, look.
Keep pouring salt on the wound. Go
I
ahead.
find that phenomenal, right? You guys identified a phenomenal setup that went. That's a major win in my book.
Yes, I feel it. And you know
Right?
what? One thing you told me, you said, do not cut your good trade short. Like, and I keep hearing you say that, like, and this was a good one that I did cut short, but it's like not knowing my risk management, like that just, yeah. And like Benny always say, like every strategy, like you can have all the different strategies you want, but if your risk is not the right, like if you're not properly managing your risk, those strategies don't even matter. So, but yeah.
So look, I'm gonna tell you guys a story, man. I'm gonna tell you guys a story. Let's go to this Euro USD, right? So 2019 going into 2020, right? I'm prepping to take the FTMO challenge, right? I'm watching this thing. We had COVID happen, right? All this stuff is happening right here, right? So me and a cousin that I was trading with and a couple of friends, we're watching this play out, right? We're back here, literally, as the market takes a dive, the dollar takes a dive, we're watching Euro USD and playing with different strategies, right? This is before Benny, Casey, and I really honed in on what we're going to do together. So we're like, all right, let's do this. Literally watching this play out, right? This push to the downside in March. Price came up, came back down, gave an opportunity to enter, right? So we're on a 1 hour time frame. We're like, all right, we're about to make this happen. We're about to make this happen. All the way back here. All the way back here. Can't even get to it. Right? All the way back here. right? We're taking small moves in this. We're looking at the 4-hour time frame. We're trying to swing trade using some moving averages and some other indicators, MACDs and all this kind of stuff, right? And didn't fully understand looking at the larger time frame, right? From a fib perspective, right? We're just in these small points, right? Looking for buys in this scenario, not understanding the Fibonacci sequence at this point, right? I caught a couple of these moves, but I could have been in this trade literally from down here for this whole move to the upside. Literally, I could have been in this whole trade as I was trying to figure this thing out, right? Just to that point is 1,100 pips, right? If we go all the way to the top, we're looking at what? 1,400 pips to the upside, right? I could have done that, but I didn't even at that point, right? I wasn't fully immersed into this fib process yet. So I was still just trying to figure it out, right? Casey had talked to me about it, right? But we hadn't really dug in at that point. So the 1,400 pips, Ebony Michelle, right? I could have caught literally in these scenarios. I could have caught 1,400 pips, but instead I blew an account, right? So
Yeah, I can feel everything that you're saying. Yes, exactly.
So when I tell you, understand where you are, right? But that's where the learning comes in, right? Shortly after that, right? Me, Case, and Benny, we really dig into this thing, and they blow my mind with how this process actually works, right? How risk management works, and we dig in. And we dig in.
Oh, it's on and popping now.
See what I'm saying? So when I tell, and me telling you that story is so everybody can understand, like, you're not the only ones that go through this, right? When we tell you we've been there, right? Because even before that, this move to the downside, right? This move to the downside. I was telling people the dollar's gonna fall, right? Back here, 2018, right? I was trading with some big time swing traders, but didn't understand how to swing trade, right? I'm trading with some large lot sizes and I don't know what the heck I'm doing, right? Literally in this zone here. Price broke down, came down. I didn't know what I was doing, had an entry in this zone, took me out. Entered a larger lot size down here, blew my account. Right? So what we're doing, right? Our goal to help you guys become consistently profitable and to compress time frames. You hear Benny say it a lot. Compressed time frame. So you guys are able to hear the mistakes that we've made, learn from them without actually having to go through them at the extent that we did. Right? So now this hurdle that Ebony, you experienced with that, Ebony Michelle experienced with that pound Aussie, but they didn't blow their account. Right? So they're able to preserve the capital, unlike myself, because they had an understanding of risk management. They put in the time on that aspect. They just needed a little bit more help on how to fully understand it at a larger scope. But they didn't blow the account, right? So they're able to preserve the capital to continue trading in this infinite game, to continue playing in this infinite game, right? That's a win in my book. That's a win in my book. Right? So you guys are able to learn from these lessons from us and not actually have to experience them yourself. be able to compress those time frames, get these pieces 3, 6, 9, 12 months that took us 3, 4, 5 years to really hone in on and master. That's why we're doing this, man. And you guys are doing one heck of a job. You guys are doing one heck of a job, man. One heck of a job. Digging in, showing up, taking the information, asking questions on the things you don't understand, implementing, learning, and you're taking those steps forward, right? You're making that progress one step at a time. It's a beautiful thing, man.
Hey, Coach,
It's a beautiful thing. What's happening?
you could at least give Michelle and Ebony a finder's fee, you know? I'm just saying.
Shauna, that's hilarious.
No doubt. ADP numbers came short.
I'm just trying to look out for my girls, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, I already know. Shauna be on it.
The Fab Four. The Fab Four. Garnett, Michelle, me, and Ebony. Fab Four. Let's go.
Let's take a look. Let's take a look to see if there was an impact in the market. All right, let's go back to this current time frame. We'll drop down to the 1 hour. Zoom in. All right, price pushing up a little bit. Slight reaction, not really strong. Right, so it'll be interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see how tomorrow plays out, right? Does tomorrow fall in line with these numbers? Or does it play out similar to how it did last month, right? Where these numbers are way off and these non-farm payroll numbers may be high. We shall see. We shall see, right? Aussie dollar. Aussie dollar, little push to the upside. Okay. So not much reaction there. Not much reaction. UJ is dropping. NZDJPY pushing down a little bit too. Oh, yeah. There's that push. Okay. All right. NZD CAD real quick, and we'll end it on the NZD CAD. All right. So let's take a look. NZD CAD, right? Back out to the daily time frame. So, right, we've been tracking this one, right? We had to push up. Take this here. Bang, right? Got a 50% retracement. Price pushed up, didn't quite get to that D extension level. Came back down. We've been tracking these moves to the downside, right? So this is the active AB boundary in this up retracement zone, right? We got a 50% retracement, not quite 61.8. And price has just been kind of moving sideways a little bit in this larger range. Okay. So we drop down to the one. We drop down to the 1 hour time frame. Just get a little clearer view. These are sub fibs, right? Taken out on both sides as we move through, right? So we move in on this current time where we had these sub fibs taken out. So if we drop a fib from this low to the high, it's the AB boundary. We got a 38.2 retracement. Price pushed up, 118, 127 zone. Okay. So now, right, giving a little pull back here out of this zone, daily resistance. Okay. So we want to see, right, do we get a reversal, bounce off of this trend line and continue up to this D extension level? or does price push a little bit deeper? Right now we have a stochastic pushing back down into the buy zone. Okay. So this one is in between, right? We got a 38.2. The stochastic is pushing up into the sell zone. Okay. So this one is kind of in between. It could be one of those scenarios where, right, we get a 38.2 retracement, but price pushes deeper, right? And this is going to be driven more on because you have two commodity pairs, right? So if oil during these OPEC meetings, right, if there's some positive news on oil volume and number of barrels, that sort of thing, right, we could see this push deeper, right? If there isn't much to change during those meetings, right, we could see oil continue to push lower, right? And we could see this move to the upside. So we're at a level of resistance and pushing down, potentially retest this trend line. So we'll have to wait and see how this one plays, right? We'll have to wait and see how it plays. But that's where we are. That's where we are. Okay. All right, good people. Phenomenal session this morning. Greatly appreciate you guys showing up. Greatly appreciate you guys showing up. We greatly appreciate you guys showing up. Right. And you're not showing up for us, you're showing up for yourself. Right. You're showing up for yourself. So continue doing it. Continue digging in. Continue asking questions. Continue putting in the work. And I promise you, if you put in the work, you'll see progress. You'll see progress. All right. Great session, everybody. You guys have a phenomenal day. Come back tonight. Check Benny out during the Asian session at 9 p.m. Eastern time, right? Benny's always dropping the nuggets, always bring us phenomenal information. So come back and join us at 9 p.m. tonight. Get some extra insight. All right. Have a phenomenal day, everybody.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Have a good day, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.